I want to see an arts sector that is properly valued by the government, during crises, during the good, during the bad, and where we don't treat arts workers as some lesser worker. We can't let artists think that somehow their contribution to our economy is any less than the contribution of any other worker. What we heard from artists as we went around the country virtually listening to the stories of artists was people tell us just how tough it had been. One artist told us, quote, "Almost everyone I know who works in the arts has lost part or all of their work." Another told us, quote, "The government did not see fit to recognise my freelance status as worthy of JobKeeper." And that was something that we knew from the thousands of survey responses that we received throughout this inquiry was a real concern for artists, is that the government deliberately structured a wage subsidy scheme to prevent people who worked in the creative and arts sector, where people are often on short-term contracts, from being able to access that scheme. The theme of this report is about pulling together the many threads to have a new national cultural plan, something to sort of grow our nation's soul post-COVID. And everywhere you look throughout this report, it's clear that there is not enough coordination when it comes to the arts organisations, the way they interact with government, the way they interact with venues, to truly support our arts sector or get the most out of the very creative people we have here in Australia. What we also saw, and you see stated very clearly in this report, is that there is a strong link between the arts and our economic outcomes as a country. We recognise in the report, quote, "Cultural and creative activity is increasingly recognised as an important component to economic growth." That was not lost on any member of the committee in putting together this report, recognising that having a strong arts sector also gives people the urge to go out and work harder so they can get to those shows, so they can experience that art, so that they can support other artists. And the other piece that is throughout this entire report is a recognition that COVID has done long-term damage to the arts sector. It's not something where we're going to snap back, bounce back, it'll all be better next year. It did smash screen production, it smashed live music. COVID destroyed live performance across this country. We still don't have the ability for people to put together those world-class shows and put them on the road around this country. We even know that writers have found COVID a particularly difficult time. We know most writers in Australia, and we have brilliant writers, support their work as writers, as artists, by doing other paid work. And we heard a lot about that as well, the amount that people sort of give out of their own pocket and out of their own time so that they can continue to create the art and stories that we love so much. And so my one request of the government with respect to this report is to take it seriously. I do feel the government did not take the arts sector seriously in 2020. I haven't seen much evidence of improvement in 2021, but there is a strong roadmap in this report of how we get the arts sector back on its feet and have it as a big, strong, driving piece of our economy into the future.